Okay, folks, I want to welcome you to another post-game conversation where you get to hear directly from Tribe football alums. For this episode, we have Mr. Wayne MacMasters. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm good, Dante. How you doing?
I am doing well. I have thoroughly enjoyed our phone conversation as well as
Yeah,
the conversation leading up here.
yeah.
It's hard to wipe the smile off my face, but I don't want to. So thank you so much for being on with us.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody, what year you graduated, the position you played, and your major?
Yeah, man. I appreciate the opportunity to be on, Dante. As you can tell from this white beard, I got a little age on me. So I came out of high school in 1979 and then started at William and Mary in 79. So played from 79 through 82. And I'm a Delaware kid, so I grew up watching the Blue Hens. My dad was a Blue Hen, my mom was a Blue Hen, and actually my daughter ran track for the Blue Hens. So we have a long, lineage of Blue Hens. But I got recruited at William and Mary, and got recruited at some other schools in the ACC. And then my senior year had kind of some medical issues with mononucleosis, and ended up picking William and Mary, and really had a great experience at William and Mary. So I was there during Coach Laycock's arrival in 1980. So we went 4-7 my freshman year, and then Coach Root got fired, and then Coach Laycock came in the next year, and so I was with Coach Laycock the last 3 years. So started in the 70s and ended in the early 80s. I'm an
That's
old guy,
right.
man.
Hey, tell everybody about your trip to North Carolina where you met Lawrence
Uh,
Taylor. What'd your dad say? I thought
Yeah,
that
I
was
was being
awesome.
recruited, for outside linebacker, defensive end, and we had to meet with the position coach, and so I was shaking hands with some of the players, and as the coach was introducing me to the players, he introduced me to Lawrence Taylor. Before he was LT, he wasn't. Nobody knew anything about Lawrence Taylor at this point, but my father kind of leaned over to me and said, "You can't play here." And he was
Thanks,
right. He
Dad.
was right, of course. So yeah, I was lucky. North Carolina did not end up offering me a scholarship, but it was so everything worked out for both schools.
That's amazing. So yeah, so you chose William and Mary, or William and Mary chose you, either way, and you majored in.
I was a physical education major, which is now kinesiology, but it was a very good program at the time, Dante. So I was happy to major in physical education. And Jimmy DiNardo and Paul Hoffman, you've interviewed both of those gentlemen. They
Absolutely.
were wonderful mentors for me. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's
That's
where I
awesome.
ended up with John Mitrovic, one of my classmates. He and I were in class together in the phys ed program.
That's great. So you get to William and Mary. Tell us about your experience at William and Mary, Wayne.
Well, I was probably a little fearful of being away from, family and everything. So I can remember, Bernie Marazzo was a wonderful running back for us, and he was very outgoing. And I think Bernie was one of those people that kind of warmed up to everybody. And I was probably on the other side of the equation, a little cool. But I got an opportunity to play my freshman year. Mike Neininger, who was a wonderful friend and mentor for me, got hurt on the strong side outside linebacker position, and I had worked myself up the second team. So when Mike got hurt, I got a chance to play and start 7 games my senior or my freshman year, and so that was a wonderful opportunity for me under Coach Root. And at the time, we were still playing a lot of ACC schools, and played in front of some big audiences and such. So that was a really neat experience.
I bet.
But it was a little scary, honestly. For a freshman, it was a little overwhelming. I think to walk into to be so far from home, and then kind of get thrown into it. But we had some really good experiences that year, so it was a great freshman year for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you had a good career. It wasn't just a good freshman year, right? You got to play some awesome players, etc.
Yeah, I always like to say I played a lot of football in college. Because back then, even during practice, we'd hit. So, I mean, I don't know how many shots I took to this cranium, but I'm certain that dementia's right around the corner, Dante.
It's knocking. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right,
yeah.
right. But yeah, I got a chance to play a lot. I started 40 games at William and Mary, and we had some really big wins. My sophomore year, we beat a really good Rutgers team up at Rutgers. They were 5-1 and just lost to Alabama by 4. And you know, that was a terrific win. And then the next year, Chris Garrity threw for 400 yards, and I got the final sack of the game against East Carolina, and we beat East Carolina at East Carolina. We really didn't have any business beating them. They had 5 or 6 All-Pro team players on that team. They were terrific. So, and then we won a few other ball games that were good ball games. But honestly, at that point, Coach Laycock was putting the foundation of his program together, and it was a tough 3 years. So I did not have a winning season in my 4 years at William and Mary, but I could see the foundation that Coach Laycock was building, and so I believed in the program, and then it all came to fruition afterwards, and you saw this 20-year run that was built on that foundation. So I am proud, and I know John Mitrovic feels the same way, and some of the other guys you've interviewed, like Jerome Waters, we all feel the same way. We were part of that foundation, so we've been very proud to see the program do so well under Coach Laycock and Coach London. I'm a big Coach London fan too.
That's awesome. Yeah, we all owe you guys a debt of gratitude because when I came, we were a lot better than that. So thank you
Yeah, yeah.
for the
Thank,
foundation.
thank you for making it happen so we can go
Yeah,
again.
yeah. And I missed our close to national championship run by 1 year. So I guess I was somewhat of a foundation as well, in
Yeah.
a different way. But so Wayne, once you hung up the cleats, you played your last game. Tell us about your journey from William and Mary to where you are today.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful professor here named Mont Lincolnauger, and John and I decided we wanted to be physical therapists, and so I went down to Duke University for 2 years, got my master's degree, came back to the area, and Steve Cole was a trainer at William and Mary, and Steve helped me get my start here locally. I started a private practice in Newport News, Virginia, and then I recruited Metro. That was the best thing I ever did. And I told Johnny, I said, "Hey, you come down here." He was living in Jersey, had gone to PT school in Philadelphia at Jefferson University, and I said, "Hey, you come down here. I'll give you William and Mary, but the only thing I ask is that you live in Williamsburg and you really own that area." And boy, you talk about a guy that took that and ran with it. And now I always call Johnny the mayor of Williamsburg. So when
He
you come
is, yeah.
all you guys, when you come back into town, make sure you get a slot dog at Johnny's Grill. And, he'll be right in front of the stadium. But yeah,
That's
we had a
right.
really good John and I, and had 2 other business partners, and we grew our PT clinics, and we opened 31 clinics, and then we sold in the tail end of 16. I married a wonderful woman 34 years ago. After a Richmond game, I met her. We won that game, and then Steve Cole and I started on the west end of town. We hit every bar from the west end to Shockoe Bottom. I was drunk as a skunk. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I met my wife, and we started dating. So hey, I owe everything to William and Mary.
So you guys sold in 16, and
Yeah,
I see quite a bit of fish in the background. So you you
yeah.
you stay busy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm still in the clinic a couple days a week. I do these disability examinations that are fairly complicated, and then I got my captain's license 4 years ago. Started a guide business, and I take people fly fishing here in Hampton Roads. So we fish for redfish and stripers and speckled trout and cobia on fly. And I've had the opportunity to fish a couple of my former teammates, like Dwayne Ragsdale, who's Mac's sidekick. And we've had wonderful trips together, a lot of laughs, and it's been a great kind of side business for me. Something I always wanted to do, kind of a bucket list item. So yeah, it's been fun, Dante.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Wayne, this has been fun as well. Is there anything you want to leave with folks?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I mean, the biggest thing, Dante, is as a guy that's, you play 4 years of college football, or maybe five if you're lucky. And here I am 40 years later, and those 4 years are just so important to me in terms of how they define my life and what I enjoy. And I still go to every home game, and I would encourage players now as well as alumni, along the way to stay connected to their teammates, stay connected to William and Mary, help out in any way they can. There's a lot of ways to help, and it's certainly our school is a noble mission, and what Coach London is doing is incredible. I'm a huge Coach London fan. I'm a Hampton guy. Coach London came from Bethel High School in Hampton, so I knew Coach London before he ever showed up at William and Mary, and I knew he was a fine human being and a great man. And there was nobody in Hampton that would ever say anything but positive things about Coach London. So I knew we were getting a great person. And he's turned
Absolutely.
out to be exactly that. So, yeah, just it's awesome to be connected, Dante. It really is.
Wayne, thank you so much. And I can't wait for everyone to see it. And we'll talk later about what the next thing for you and I is. But thank you again for this.
Well, we'll see each other getting a slot dog from Metro. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. All right.